is that we had received an email from a constituent that was requesting to see all incoming emails to the county commission, and I would like a report that the board can review from the county administrator, in particular Mr. Zimmerman's office, as to the availability of such a service and whatever benefits or issues that they would see from being able to provide these emails to the public.
Commissioner Thaxton, did you want to start?
And I think you were copied the email, correct? And you did respond back. And Mr. Reed didn't feel comfortable in doing this without me bringing it to the full board, and I think that's a good recommendation. So the question was, what is the viability, or how difficult is it, or whatever, you know, I don't know enough about electronics and how you guys manage these systems to even begin to understand the complexities, but what would be the issues from your perspective, and then we would of course need to discuss it as a board, as a matter of policy, as to having the incoming emails to commissioners made available on the public access site.
Okay, for the record, Glenn Zimmerman, EIT. Really, there's no technical issues. We can provide any requirements that you would require. We can meet that technically. So it's a discussion from the board of how they want to do it. Yeah, but I haven't costed it out, but we'd be duplicating your mailboxes out to this new site. So if we went and provided every email, it's just a duplication of all your mailboxes. But I would assume that we'd see a reduction in terms of public records requests that would come in, so it might be a wash there.
Commissioner Thaxton, anything else from Mr.
No, I mean I'm trying to see if there's a downside to it, and one of the downsides that I can see is I think that it's the volume of emails that we handle. I mean, one of the reasons that we chose the direction that we did was anytime a commissioner copied another commissioner, or anytime a commissioner copied the county administrator, DCAs, or the office of the county attorney, then it would be available for the public. And that would, I think that the thinking was that would give the public access to the more important, I guess is one way to say it, and that access to the full palette, the full gamut, would be so voluminous that it may inhibit the public from actually, wading through all the stuff. I mean, I know I lose our phone messages, for instance, are sent to me by email, and I'm constantly losing them, especially when I come back from a trip. Because like my last trip I came back from, I had to wade through 1,100 emails to find my phone calls. So the volume is problematic, and that's, I guess, the downside that I can see. But I guess I'm not adverse to giving it a try.
Mr. DeMarche, and then Commissioner
Actually,
Peck.
my issue was just discussed because I think you started with the concept of emails received by commissioners, but the real kind of the response was, we'll just duplicate your entire email. Well, that's a whole different thing in terms of the volume and what's contained within it. And that's, I don't know, that could be, asking the public to look at a couple hundred emails to each of you every day to find out what's in there. That's a lot.
Commissioner Patterson?
I don't support doing it. I think the current system allows the public access to the important emails where we feel they're important enough to do an FYI to other commissioners. If somebody copies all of us and we answer it back copying everybody, the public has a check on it. And maybe a few years ago when the volume wasn't quite as high, I would have supported doing it. But right now the volume is absolutely enormous, And there are a lot of emails that come in that I frankly send to spam, but they can be, in recent years, from just a very small handful, under 5 individuals in the county, that are extremely insulting, and in some cases even bordering on obscene. And what we would be doing is giving them the theater of being exposed to everybody in the county, which I'm sure, those particular individuals would love, in fact, have expressed disappointment that their emails were not on the web. So I think the current system, provides access to the important things, anything we copy at our administrator. I had thought that it included anything that we copied the county attorney, and I think that, I'd be perfectly okay with as well.
Commissioner Barbetta?
Thank you. Maybe I was just a little naive on this. I thought they already could see all those. I didn't realize that, so I don't have any problem with it. I mean, they're public emails. They're coming into a public website. So I just presumed they saw everything that came in, whether we answered it, opened it, or whatever. It was there. So I guess I've been remiss in not knowing that that wasn't the case. Is it a lot of extra work for you just to have them all available?
No, I mean, it would be duplicating. We'd have to now create a rule that would just put all the commissioners' emails out to the site, and what we'd end up doing is creating, rather than having them all together, we'd create links for each of you individually to separate it. But yeah, currently the rules are set up as commissioner to commissioner and commissioner to administrator.
Those are the ones that are available or not available?
Those are the ones that are available.
Yeah.
That's how the rule is set up.
So if the governor wrote one of us, that's not public?
No, only if one of you replied with another commissioner.
I didn't understand that.
It's just not on the site, so
But it's a
It's
public,
available.
it's a public email to a public official.
right, and you could respond in.
But I mean, if I choose not to respond because it's a thank you or something like that, the public doesn't get to see that.
Well,
Again, I don't have any problem with.
There's no obligation to make it available.
What do other
It's a
counties?
public record and is made available anytime a public record request is.
Yeah, but then you'd have staff doing work to gather all these records, when in effect, if we had it public, we
I don't
wouldn't have
think
as many,
that'll end.
we wouldn't have as many public record requests.
No, I think our email volume is going to pick up considerably based upon what's happened to the Venice City Council as a result of all of them going out. And it's now used as a message board in the city of Venice. So what happens is you have people talking to each other instead of the Venice City Council. They'll post things and argue with each other on the Venice City website. And in addition to that, they post blog postings now on that website. They send it to all of them just to get their information out, because it's another way of advertising a blog or advertising a situation. And then you've got people arguing with each other, not any of the members of the Venice City Council talking to each other or emailing back and forth. They're literally emailing each other because it's appearing on public access, and they know that
That's
the public
happening now with the handful we have. They copy everybody, and then one of their partners copies also, so they're using that site now.
We don't have to, but no, they're not using that site now. No, that's
No,
not
I mean,
true.
they're using our site now. They're
No,
using.
they're
They're
not.
not.
No, they're not.
Because
I'm
they can't
reading emails
unless we
from one and
reply,
another one
copy
coming
them
in.
all.
Unless we reply, it doesn't go on there.
Oh, okay.
So
Again, we're public officials. I have no problem with everything being public. I don't want to create extra work for staff, but if it's not extra work, I don't have any problem with it. Again, what we could do, can you create a site where they can see the incoming emails, but they can't respond to them? We can, but they can't?
Well, yeah,
That's her
this
concern?
site, it's a website, so all we'll be doing is pushing all your emails out to this website. There's no response that can occur there.
No, but they see the response, and then they respond to that by writing us all,
And emailing us again.
emailing us again. We have evidence of that happening. In addition to that, I don't know if I know you have all received, we've gotten emails from neighbors reporting code violations and things like that. I mean, we're going to escalate situations, and these are public records. People can request them. But, you know, putting them on public access is going to create more neighborhood friction and wars as you see people doing that. I mean, we've got them on there when they're between us and the county administrator, and they can do a public records request. I just don't want to provide a message board system, and this will create a message board instead of an email system.
I guess I'm not being computer savvy. All I'm saying, my goal is our emails are public. I don't have any problem. Everybody, whether incoming, outgoing, whatever they are, I don't care if anybody sees them or not. I think they're entitled to see them. But Glenn, what do other counties do? I mean, we're one of 67 counties. What did Alachua County do? All your emails public?
In Alachua County, all emails to the county commissioner are public, and all responses by the county
It's
commissioner.
best practices. So, I mean, what are we hiding from?
Wait, was that it for all the counties?
No. Each county handles it different. So, and again, some of them don't even provide it because it's not a requirement.
That would be a rarity. The majority would not have emails posted, in my experience. There are a number that do. And the other issue that is the reason why people ask for that sometimes to see who's trying to influence opinion. And when, you know, how sometimes you may get 200 emails from some group, they see that, and they know that on this zoning issue, look, there's 200 emails coming in, we better do something. That's the kind of logic citizen groups have, particularly is seeing who's attempting to influence a decision.
Commissioner Mason, then Commissioner Patterson.
I support the current policy. I think it provides access. I don't, in my opinion, we're not hiding anything, but the current policy provides the public access, I think adequate access. That's my opinion.
Commissioner Patterson.
I agree.
Okay. Well, it looks like we have at least 3 who aren't supportive of that, but I would like to spin off a different discussion from that and ask a question of Mr. Zimmerman. Mr. Zimmerman, how difficult would it be to put more than 60 days of back emails on the website?
Yeah, that's
I
not
asked you to
difficult.
enlarge it.
Yeah, and my staff is currently working on performance enhancements.
Excuse me, let me clarify that from Commissioner Thaxton. Currently, we moved to the new public email system where it's easier to access, but we only provide 60 days worth of access. So it's limited to 60 days, the past 60 days. So you can't go back further than 60 days other than by public records request. So I was asking how difficult it was to provide more than 60 days. I'm sorry, Mr. Zimmerman, go ahead.
No, that's not a difficult process. What we're doing is that we're enhancing the performance for the search capabilities. So as soon as that is put in place, which we expect by the end of the week, to have that in place, it will not be a difficult process. But right now, we would not want to slow down the system.
Commissioner Patterson.
Yeah, I relayed that question, copying Mr. Reed earlier because I had a request from a citizen who, does these searches for 2 things. One, I think you corrected already, which is that previously you had to search only by title. And so if you sent in an email without a title, it was irretrievable. And then the other is we used to keep it for a year or so. You could, and then all of a sudden you could only get 60 days. And I thought your answer was you're working on it and you'll make that happen.
Right. With this new, we implemented that 60-day rule back when we implemented the archive manager was set up to hit all our mailboxes to help reduce the overload on our mailbox system, so it moves it out to the archive system. So it affected, because the old system was essentially a mailbox, it affected that system as well and moved it to 60 days. With this new system, we put it in place with 60 days in mind to meet the old standard. Now, again, we are working on performance enhancements for the search capabilities. Once that's in place, we can certainly move it to a year.